live.
All right, thank you, Tanya.
Live.
Oops.
So we're actually live now on Facebook and Zoom if you guys want to go ahead and start welcoming folks in.
All right. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. MashaAllah, we're seeing the numbers of participants increasing. So we're just going to wait a couple more minutes. I'm Hiba Rahim with CAIR Florida. We're just going to wait a couple more minutes to allow people to log in now that we've opened it. And we will start our program and start our Islamic trivia and our civil rights trivia with Brother Omar Azad from Young Muslims and Sister Angelika Traverso from Tallahassee Muslim Youth. Just hang on, we'll be right back. Omar, you ready?
Yeah. Should I start?
No, we'll start in just a couple of minutes. We'll just open the chat box and let people know. But all right, great. So just to let everybody know, we're doing this in webinar form, which basically means that you can see us and we can see that you're on. So we have about 30 people on so far, so we'll just wait a couple more minutes. We can see that you're joining, and alhamdulillah, we're very happy to have you on. And if you have any questions, make sure you put it in the chat box so that we can see and know what's going on. But otherwise, just keep on watching, and once we start the Kahoot, we'll share our screen so that you can see it, and we'll begin our competition. So we'll give it about one more minute, Omar, and then just go ahead and kick us off. All right, Omar, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. Thank you guys so much for showing up to the first ever CAIR Florida and Young Muslims Youth Trivia Night. Before we start, I'd like to introduce all the panelists. I'll start with myself, inshallah. My name is Omar Azad. I'm the coordinator for Young Muslims Pompano Beach, and I go to Florida Atlantic University. And I'm going to be the moderator tonight, inshallah. Next up, we have Sister Angelika Traverso, who is a member of Muslim Youth of Tallahassee and is actually graduating from FSU today. So congratulations. And last, but definitely not least, we have Sister Hiba Rahim, who is the event organizer and basically the reason this is all going on today. So Jazakallah khair. Before we start off, I'd also like to talk about like the reason behind like having this event, like what's the purpose of it. So for me personally, I mean, I think we've all like understand that this Ramadan is like a different situation than what we're normally used to, where, you know, we're under quarantine, we're stuck at home, we can't go to the masjid and pray Tarawih with everyone, break our iftar, you know, ball out after Maghrib. But I came to a realization after the first few days of Ramadan that the fact that my biggest concern about like anything at this time is that like I'm not able to like leave my house to the masjid is a blessing in itself. Because there's so many brothers and sisters across the world who are dealing with situations far worse than we could even imagine. Bloodshed, war, poverty. And the fact that I'm worrying about me like not being able to go out to the masjid is like insignificant compared to what they're dealing with. And it reminds me of this hadith which talks about how the entire like Muslim ummah as a whole is like a body. And when one limb aches, the rest of the body is affected with like sleeplessness and a fever. Just imagine that like whenever like a brother or sister across the world who I've never seen before is going through pain, I can't even sleep. I can't even like relax even a bit because these people are suffering and they're my fellow Muslims, my fellow brothers and sisters. So it also reminds me about this hadith that talks about Omar bin al-Khattab, and when he was offered food to eat during the famine that happened during the time when he was the Khalifa, he refused to eat even a bite. He said that I'm not eating unless the rest of my people have food to eat. And when his stomach started rumbling from his hunger, he would point to his stomach and say to the stomach that you're not eating until everyone else eats. And just thinking about the leadership of our Sahaba, of our past Muslim leaders, makes me think like, what are we doing to fix these problems that our brothers and sisters are dealing with across the world? Are we pushing ourselves to the capabilities and to our own limits in order to ensure the people that we care about are able to like succeed, are able to eat food, are able to live a life without worry? And I guess in light of that, that's what the purpose of this event today is. Obviously, a Kahoot isn't going to fix everything, but the purpose of this Kahoot is to remind us that we need to gain knowledge and we need to strive to improve the situation. So hopefully this Kahoot serves that exact purpose and reminds us and serves as a motivation for us to work harder, inshallah. So with that, I'd like to hand it off to Sister Angelika.
Thank you, Brother Omar. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Angelika Traverso. Just to tell you guys a little bit about myself, I am from San Juan, Puerto Rico. I'm originally born and raised there, but I live in Tallahassee, Florida. As of yesterday, I officially have my bachelor's in international affairs and anthropology and minors in Italian and political science and a TESOL certification. So just to explain to you guys a little bit about who I am a member of the Tallahassee Muslim Youth. And Tallahassee Muslim Youth is an organization in the city of Tallahassee that emphasizes on creating a safe space for the Muslim youth to interact with other Muslims, learn about their religion so that they receive the tools that they need appropriately to appropriately represent Islam by the time they go off to college and to the real world, inshallah. So as of recently, part of the CAIR Florida family. And if you are also interested in joining and learning more about our purpose and mission, please leave us a comment or message us privately, and we can send you information about becoming a member of our team. So once again, thank you for joining us for the Kahoot event. We're so happy to have you all with us. So without further ado, I'm gonna tell you guys how to get on. So you're gonna go on to kahoot.it. So KAHOOT.IT. And then once you're in, you're going to write down the code that Sister Hiba will display on the screen, and you're going to write your name. If you choose to write down a nickname, that's completely fine. Just please put your real name in parentheses, since we will need that for when we're handing out the prizes later on. So first place will receive $50, second place will receive $30, and third place will receive $20. So please make sure again to put in your name in that parentheses or use your real name if you want. And once we have everyone in, we will start the game. So good luck, everyone.
Great, and thank you, Angelika. I'll ask everyone also, as you are loading your page, going to www.kahoot.it, go ahead and put in the chat box where you're joining from in Florida. So we have about 41 people on for the competition. Remember, the competition, while everyone is welcome to watch, the competition is for high school students and college students only. So definitely, just please keep that in mind. But go ahead and open the chat box and let us know where you're joining from as I pull up the Kahoot. I know I've seen quite a few Panama City folks on here, and that's great. Tampa, the Nota Sasa, Tampa, great. Welcome everybody. Alhamdulillah, so nice to see so many youth. Orlando representing, mashallah. Coral Springs. All right, now if you're on the chat box, then I assume you most definitely already opened the kahoot.it, because I'm about to launch the game and share my screen. Memphis, Tennessee, mashallah. Welcome, sister from Memphis. And alhamdulillah, everyone else who's responded so far. All righty. Detroit, alhamdulillah. Welcome, Detroit. Game
So,
10 is
the
coming
game-
up. Angelika, can you guys see my screen properly?
Yes, I can.
All right, great. Now, you want to remind them about the questions if they have any technical problems?
Yes. So if anyone has any technical problems, after every 3 questions, we're going to stop and make sure no one has any technical problems. So please write down in the chat box if you do. Otherwise, after the first 3 sets of 3 questions, we're going to continue on with the game.
Great. And also, I see that some people are joining with just their first name or maybe a nickname. So this is the important thing. If you're still joining, make sure you include your whole name. And if you have already joined and you win, and inshallah, may Allah give success to all of you, then you have to be very sure to include in a chat box what your full name is so we know who to send the prize money to. All right, any questions, guys? I'm looking at the chat box before we start. We've so far got 31 players on. Any questions? I'm gonna go ahead and put the pin here. Somebody had said, what was it? I don't know if that was an old question. All right. I think we're ready. Angelika, I'll wait for your cue and I'll navigate for you.
All right. It seems that we have almost everyone ready. I think we should wait just 1 more minute if anyone wants to participate, and then if not, we're gonna get going. So anyone else that wants to hop in last minute, you have 1 minute, and then we're gonna start.
If you're on Facebook, you can join, of course, if you can see. Yes, we're streaming live on Facebook, so yes, you can join, but the only thing we're asking is that we limit it to high school and college age students. But yes, you're most welcome to join.
And just also to clarify, this is not teams. Everyone is gonna be doing this on his or her own. So yeah, it's an individual individual friendly competition.
Of course, we're going on the honor system, guys, and it's Ramadan. All right, Bismillah.
All right, I think we're ready. Bismillah.
Everyone say Bismillah.
All right, so the first question, true or false? The Quran specifically commands Muslims. Oh, which of the following names of Allah speaks to his perfect justice?
Remember, it could be more than one answer, guys. Good job.
All right, good job, everyone. We're gonna move on to the second question now.
Remember, your answers, your score is based on your right answer and your speed. Keep that in mind, everyone.
True or false? The Quran specifically commands Muslims to stand firm for justice.
True.
All right, let's see the standings. All right, good job, Haya. Good job, Nadia, Sabrina, Raya, you're getting there. All right. In Surah Nisa, Muslims are commanded parents.
That was good.
So we just passed the first 3 questions. Is anyone experiencing any technical difficulties? If so, please write them in the comments down below, in the chat box. Yeah, just let us know.
All right.
Mohammed, you have your hand raised. It doesn't show you the choices.
So on your screen, Angelika, can you explain how Kahoot works?
Yes. So basically the way that it works is that on your screen, on the shared screen that Sister Hiba is showing to us, you will have the 4 options to the question. And on your phone, you will have the 4 colors. Each button is a different color: red, green, yellow, or blue. And depending on what it says on every single button on the screen, you're going to pick a red button, a blue button, a yellow button, or a green button, depending on which one you think is the right answer. So just pick,
Yeah, Angelika, are you done?
yeah, sorry, I cut it in and out. So yeah, if you have any other questions, please let us know. Also, we can unmute Mohammed if he does have any follow-up questions, if you would like to be unmuted.
Muhammad, are you good? Can you let us know if you're fine for us to continue? All right, he's good.
Okay.
Both Muhammads are good. Okay, great.
Okay, that's good.
Also on this point, it's interesting. In Surah An-Nisa, ayah 135, and this is a verse you'll hear CAIR Florida advocates mentioning a lot. Oh, you who believe, persistently stand firm in justice, witnesses for Allah, even if it's against yourselves or your parents or your relatives, or whether one is rich or poor. So yes, subhanAllah, the concept of justice in Islam is so strong that it extends even against ourselves or those who are closest to us. SubhanAllah. All right, we're going to continue now. Great job, everyone. All right, Angelika.
Move on to the next question, everyone. So the next question is, Abu Bakr freed this slave by paying 30,000 dinar for his freedom.
Great job. So many people got it right, mashallah.
MashaAllah.
Bilal. The answer was Bilal.
Which of these will be in the shade of Allah's throne on the day of judgment? right, so the answer was a just ruler. Congratulations to the 20 of you that got it right. All right, we are going to move on to the next question. Islam was revealed and brought new concept of social justice to which groups of people? All right. The answer is all of the above. Congratulations to the 33 of you that got it right. Islam stands for justice for everyone. Absolutely everyone. Why did Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, order his companions to move to Medina? Congratulations to the 32 of you that got it right. The answer was Quraysh would not let Muslims practice their religion in Mecca. All right, we're gonna move on to the next one, but before we do, does anyone have any technical difficulties? Just write that in the chat box if you do. If not, we're gonna continue on. Habiba, it is not working. Is there a lag? Okay.
But we have somebody who's taking care of the technical part with us on the call. So I'm going to ask her sister Rania if you can reach out to Habiba and see if you can work something out. That would be great.
Okay.
Because it seems like if everybody else is getting it, then it might be something on your end. And the question is that who gets it first or right? So you get points for getting it right. If you get it wrong, you get no points. If you get points for getting it right, but many people will get it right. So what puts one person above the other is the speed. So that's you get scored on accuracy, which is if it's correct or not, and your speed. All right, ready, Angelica?
Yes. Who told his son to obey only Allah and that false worship is the greatest injustice? Think about this one. Take your time. All right, 10 seconds. 5. All right. The answer was Luqman. Good job to the 12 of you that got it right.
All right. I see you Panama City folks coming up. Just saying. Sorry, guys. But mashallah, Sister Haya has been in the lead. Look at that. Mashallah.
The first martyr in Islam was a woman. What was her name? Think about this, everyone. Take your time if you have to. Don't rush into the answer. Five seconds.
Inshallah.
Sister Sumaya, she was the first martyr in Islam, as the first female martyr in Islam. Congratulations to the 27 of you that got it right. We're going to continue on to the next question. Islam gave women which unprecedented rights? 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Yes, the answer is all of the above, or the green button. Islam gave women rights to inheritance, right to own property and wealth, and the right to education. And it's considered one of the most progressive religions in terms of women's rights. Even though a lot of people may not believe so, but we know.
We know.
Which freed slave during the time of Prophet Muhammad was originally from Roma? Take your time to think about this, guys. Don't rush into it. Sometimes it's okay to think about it a little bit. 10 seconds. All right, the answer was Hiba. We're gonna move on to the next question. Good job, Haya. All people are equal in Islam except on the basis of one thing. What is it? Ten seconds left, everyone. The answer is taqwa. When it comes to physical beauty and wealth in the eyes of Allah, that does not matter. Remember that God made us all different and unique, and the only thing that really matters in the eyes of Allah that makes us different is the taqwa. Good job to the 30 people that got the answer right. What does jahiliya mean? Take your time, guys. Take your time. Five seconds. All right, the answer is ignorance. Jahiliya means ignorance, everyone. Good job, 28. All right. Hiya, you're doing amazing. Trailblazer. All right, we're gonna continue on to the next one. Mashallah, mashallah. Okay, this one's a multi-select question. So how proud do you feel to know that CAIR Florida is at the forefront of justice for all? Y'all shouldn't even hesitate to answer this question.
Well done, well done.
Mashallah.
All right, mashallah. We've got Aya Amina second, Sabrina, and it's Jabir and Raya Al-Bibi all following Haya, who still got the lead. Keep it up, guys.
Why are Muslims required to pay Zakah? Take your time and read. Don't jump into conclusions so quick. 10 seconds, everyone. Good job. Yes, we are required to pay Zakah for that reason. Continue for the next question. According to Surah Al-Asr, man is surely in loss except those who That is right. According to Surah Al-Azr, man is surely in laws except for those who have faith, who do good deeds and good works and help everyone in the community and encourage one another to follow the truth and encourage to be steadfast. And this is something we should all be thinking about, especially during this Ramadan, this very special Ramadan. Name the surah that refers to orphans and feeding the poor.
Be careful, guys.
This one's a tricky one. That's right. Surah Ma'un is the one that refers to feeding the poor and the orphans. Good job to the 23 that got correct. All right, let's go to the next question. Haya, you are on fire. Streak of 17, mashallah. Who has the most rights on a person after his or her spouse and children? Immediate relatives are the people who have the most right on someone after his or her spouse or children. Good job, 27s. Good job, everyone. Which one of the following is not a right of one Muslim over the other? Letting others borrow money is not a right of one Muslim over the other. Good job, 28s. We're doing really good. And now we're gonna start to move on to a different set of questions. We've mostly been doing Islamic history, but now we're gonna start with more contemporary times and civil rights.
Soon, very soon.
After this one, actually. 5 seconds, everyone.
True, very good.
All right, now it's when we're gonna be moving to more contemporary times and civil rights. All right, congratulations. We've reached halfway through the game. This is really the time to hone in and make sure to really get these questions right. So which political system allows the judiciary branch to be fully independent of the 5 seconds. It is the Islamic system. They create a divide between the judiciary branch and the executive branch to make sure that there is a lack of corruption and a lack of, basically a lack of corruption amongst the two.
Great.
Muhammad Ali had his champion belt taken away when? Five seconds. Yes, he refused to fight in the Vietnam War as a conscientious objection to war. Not only this, but then he was imprisoned because it was considered to go against American values. And once he was set out of prison, he continued to train and won his championship belt again. So amazing example Muhammad Ali is for everyone to really stand up for what you believe in.
Absolutely.
The historic 1954 U.S. Supreme Court decision, Brown versus Board of Education, did what? All right, yes, it prohibited racial segregation in public schools. Yet we still deal with these types of issues, sometimes with counties and situations regarding schools and how they treat minorities. So this is something that's very important for us, especially as CAIR Florida, to make sure that this is being upheld and protected in all schools in Florida and inshallah around the United States. Rosa Parks' refusal to move to the back of a bus triggered a citywide bus boycott in which American city? "15 seconds. Deep South. Yes, the correct answer was Montgomery, Alabama. Good job, everyone. Who said, "Without education, you're not going anywhere in this world"? The right answer was Malcolm X. Malcolm X. Good job, everyone. Everyone's doing real good so far. All right. Which slave escaped to freedom but then made 19 trips to lead over 300 slaves to freedom? Is it Nat Turner, George Washington, Henry Brown, or Harriet Tubman? Yes, the correct answer was Harriet Tubman. Not only did she ran away for freedom and made it to the north, but then she decided to come back and helped over 300 slaves to basically defect the South, the Confederacy, and move also to the north. Good job, everyone. In the 19th century, this former slave was the founder of the journal The North Star. Who was he? Was it Frederick Douglass, Rosa Parks, Booker T. Washington, or Malcolm X? Yes, it was Frederick Douglass. Congrats, everyone. All right, Haya, you're doing real good. Aya, real good as well. Carmel, Noor, Sabrina, everyone else that's in this game that I can't read their names. You guys are doing a great, fantastic job. Congrats, everyone. This 14-year-old African-American was brutally murdered for allegedly whistling at a white lady. Yes, the right answer was Emmett Till. Emmett Till was originally from Chicago, but decided to visit the South. And once he was in the South, he saw this lady stepping out of the supermarket, whistled at her, and was brutally murdered to the point that he was completely unrecognizable. And when they did the funeral rites and the funeral service, the mom made sure that his casket was laid open so that the whole world could see how brutal this was. And it became a huge movement. It became a huge symbol of the civil rights movement in the 1960s. All right. Who were the Little Rock Nine? Yes, the Little Rock Nine were 9 African-American students who were prevented from attending a white school in Little Rock, Arkansas. All right, we're gonna move on to the next question. Everyone's doing really well. All right, who were the Freedom Riders? The Freedom Riders, or Riders to Freedom. 10 seconds. Red, blue, yellow, or green? All right, the answer was students who rode buses throughout the South to integrate transportations.
Let's see if this is going to affect the scores. This is a big split here. Okay.
Aya, all right. Aya, Carmel, Noor, Yaman. All right. Everyone's doing real good so far.
I see you, Yaman.
Where was Malcolm X when he first became interested in Islam? Yes, he was in prison when he became interested in Islam. Good job, everyone. Good job. What did Malcolm X change his name to after returning from Mecca? Ten seconds, everyone. All right, the right answer was El Hajj Malik El Shabazz. Good job to the 18 of you that got it right.
I'm really, yeah, this one, when I was writing the answers, I almost wrote Haji Ramadan Shaban, and I don't even know if anyone noticed the Shaban at the end. Right. All right, guys, I see new names on the screen. I see new names.
Right.
Good job. Got about 7 questions left.
All right, which of these is a quote from Malcolm X? Nobody can give you equality or justice. If you're a man, you take it. I'm for justice, no matter who it's for or against. The future belongs to those who prepare for it today, or all of the above. 10 seconds. Yes, the right answer was all of the above. Malcolm X did say all of these. Nobody can give you equality or justice. If you're a man, you take it. I'm for justice, no matter who it's for or against. And the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. All right, we're going to move on to the next question. In what year did Malcolm X die? All right, he
Impressive.
died in 1965 by homicide.
It's impressive, guys. Well done.
The Equal Rights Amendment of 1971 guarantees equality to all people, later became law. Is it true or is it false? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I mean, I actually do know, but 5 seconds.
Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah, that's very tricky. Congratulations to the 4 of you that got it right. But yes, it is absolutely false. The Equal Rights Amendment never became law.
It was never ratified by the necessary number of states. And that's actually a stain that we have in our history, that the Equal Rights Amendment just stayed as it is, as it's often referred to as the ERA. You may hear people refer to it as that, but it never became a law, unfortunately. So that's something that in your lifetime, I expect there have been major tides that have shifted with regards to the Equal Rights Amendment. And I think, inshallah, that in your lifetime, you will be at the forefront of social justice and making sure that this becomes law in the United States, inshallah. So keep that in your mind. And remember, you learned it on a CAIR Florida YM TMY Kahoot in Ramadan.
All right, last 5 questions. Throughout the 1900s, all of the following communities were heavily discriminated against in the US except Catholics, Jews, Japanese, or the British. All right. The answer is British. And I see that there was a large answer for Catholics, and I'm just going to explain a little bit why, because as a former Catholic myself, this is something that was heavily talked about in my community. The United States is a majority Protestant country, as we may already know, and Catholics were deemed to be lesser because according to them, they were idol worshipers and they didn't really follow the proper Christian guidelines, and therefore they were very heavily discriminated against. And not only that, but most Catholics were Irish, and it was another group that was constantly discriminated against. Although I myself am not Irish, I am Hispanic, and I'm not even Catholic, I'm Muslim.
Thanks.
All right. We're gonna move on to the next question. What percentage of the world's Muslim population is Muslim? Is it 14, 19, 31, or 24? Yes, the world's population, the world's Muslim population is 24, and it is also the fastest growing religion in the world. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. What percentage of the United States population is Muslim?
This is according to the Pew Research Center.
Yes, this answer was also a little bit surprising for me, but the answer is 1%. Just 1% of the United States population, again, according to 2017 Pew Research, is 1% is Muslim.
Right, 3 more questions, guys.
All right, this is a multiple selection question. What is the state's largest Muslim civil rights organization? Please do not get this wrong. The answer is literally right there. It's us, everyone. Yes, we are the largest Muslim civil rights organization in the state of Florida. And if you are interested in joining, please let us know in the messages in the chat down below so we can get that information sent to you. All right, next question. What does CAIR stand for? Is it Community of Americans with Islamic Religion, Council on American Islamic Relations, Common Agenda of Interfaith Rights, or Compassionate Advocates for Intellectual Reasoning? Yes, CAIR stands for the Council on American Islamic Relations of Florida, CAIR Florida. Multi-select question. So multiple selections, guys. Are you interested in becoming a CAIR Florida advocate? You can't really go wrong with this question, guys.
CAIR Florida is becoming the strong voice of justice for all people. The good work that we are doing to defend our faith and justice and human rights for all.
All right, guys, I just want to play this before I show the results. I just want to play this real quickly. I'm going to put my volume up just to make sure you can hear it. It'll be 1 minute and 20 seconds.
CAIR Florida is becoming a strong voice of justice for all people. The good work that we are doing to defend our faith and justice and human rights for all is just beginning. We must all remember that our enemies can never defeat us. We can only defeat ourselves if we allow fear and hate to turn us against each other. Let's work stronger for our love than they work for their hate.
I was actually praying one of my 5 daily prayers behind Chipotle one time. This man came up to me while I was praying, and he then went on to say that, oh, I killed many people like you overseas in Afghanistan, and I'll even kill you right now. I thought to myself, you know, this might be my last breath. This might be my last prayer.
We recently found out that we're actually being sued by one of the biggest Islamophobes in this country. But the reason she's targeting us ultimately is because they see how powerful, how strong, how effective we are in fighting Islamophobia and protecting the Muslim community. The last 4 years have been amongst the most challenging for our community, especially with the year 2020 coming up as another election year. Hate crime spiked during these election years, so we are bracing ourselves right now.
Great, I didn't want to go through.
All right, everyone, let's see the results. Who are our winners? Congratulations, Colonel Anas. Maya, you are our winners for today's Kahoot. So first place will be receiving $50, second place $30, and third place $20. So please, if you can write privately to us in chat your information so we can deliver to you guys your prize. Thank you so much for being with us today. And I will now give it to Sister Hiba to give us our closing remarks.
All right, everyone, mashallah, mabruk. I was actually so proud to see so many people getting so many right answers. We did do this for high school and college age just to make sure nobody has an unfair advantage like much older people. But to be honest, a lot of people don't know the answers to these questions. And so, alhamdulillah, it makes me very, very proud and very hopeful to see so many young people, mashallah, who have that knowledge. Because without knowledge, right, like as Brother Malcolm X said, without the knowledge, without education, like that is our passport to the future. That's how we know that we'll be successful in the future, inshallah. And one thing that I wanted to share with you guys is a little bit about what CAIR Florida does. And I'm going to ask everyone to check the chat box right now. This is really, really important. In the chat box, I'm putting a Google form that you can fill out and let us know if you want to be a CAIR Florida advocate. CAIR Florida works in so many different areas, from education to presentations to communication with different Of course, mass social media or graphics design, whether you're great at PowerPoint and making presentations, whether you're a great speaker and you can help presenting in classrooms or in society in general, or speaking at different events. If you like, one thing that I'm passionate about is Muslim inmates advocacy. If you want to help work with Muslim inmates advocacy, government affairs relation, have you been to Florida Muslim Capital Day? Are you interested in meeting with legislators? Are you interested in that type of work? Maybe it's programs and outreach or civil rights in general. Maybe it's immigration. These are all so many different areas that CAIR Florida is involved in, is engaged in, and that where we appear, where we are present, where we protect and prevent and advocate and represent, and we make sure that we're empowering our community to give them the best tools necessary to know their rights and to defend themselves and to defend others. And it's so important for me to, again, encourage you to become CAIR Florida advocates. What we do is we stand for our community. We're here for you. We're here to support you. And I really, in these hours before iftar, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect you and to protect your family. But I don't want us to be from the people who find ourselves afflicted before we show support, right? If Allah has protected you and your family, if Allah has given you wealth or a mind or a tongue or writing abilities or some kind of talent, and Allah has also protected you, then one way to give gratitude is by giving back to the community in that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed you, right? So whatever skill that you have, whatever ability that you have, whatever talent that you have, make sure you channel it for the khair. Make sure you channel it for good. And again, CAIR Florida supports our community. We've stood by our community for decades. We will continue to do that. But the more work we have, the more support we need from our community. So we're asking our youth now, specifically, the youth who are on this call, to please become CAIR Florida advocates and help us carry our mission and our vision forward. We need you, wallahi, like you don't discredit your age or your youth. Make sure, we want to tell you that subhanAllah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given so much blessings to the youth in our community, so much knowledge. Look, mashallah, how much we know from just today. So give yourself the credit, empower yourselves, allow us to work together so we can develop our future leaders, inshallah. So again, the link, I'm putting it back in the chat box. If you're interested in becoming a CAIR Florida advocate, fill out the link, and inshallah, one of our team members will connect with you and contact you. And just like Sister Angelika said, she's introduced herself as a CAIR Florida advocate. You can be the next CAIR Florida advocate, inshallah ta'ala. So I just wanted to kind of emphasize those points as we wrap up our hour. And thank you all for coming, and make sure that we all know that, yes, standing up for justice is a commandment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, mentioned multiple times in the Quran, in Hadith Qudsi, in Hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in multiple stories of our history. I mean, guys, I'll wrap up with a couple of stories. There was a story of a family from the Makhzum tribe. And I remember this story really stood out because they were a noble tribe, and one of their daughters, whose name was Fatima, stole. And Rasulullah said the had, or the punishment of stealing, had to be applied to her. And of course, this was a noble family in the time of Quraysh, and they weren't used to having hudud or having punishments on them. They could either buy their way out or use their stature to get their way out. And so they tried to get someone to intercede. And they asked Usama bin Zayd, they said, "You're close to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, go and intercede on our behalf." And he went to the Prophet ﷺ and said, this is the new deen, please don't carry out the hajj, please give them a chance. And again, this girl's name was Fatima, and he turned around, and Usama bin Zayd knew that Rasulullah ﷺ was angry or upset by his request, and he turned and he said, if it was Fatima bint Muhammad, if it was Fatima, the daughter of Muhammad, I would have carried out the hajj on her. Islam is equal for all people. Doesn't matter rich or poor, doesn't matter ethnicity, background, nothing matters in Islam. Equality is established for all people. And of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the hadith said, "Oh my slaves, I have forbidden injustice for myself and forbade it for you also. So avoid being unjust toward one another." And again, to my young brothers and sisters, injustice comes in many forms. It comes in the form of talking ill about your brother or sister. Slander, spreading rumors, injustice comes when you see someone who's hurt or being bullied or disrespected and you don't stand up for them. Injustice has many, many shades and colors that are all ugly and uglier. And it's our responsibility to make sure that when we see someone transgressing hududullah, or when we see somebody transgressing what society considers right or wrong, or doing something that is offensive to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we know that the ummah, the Muslim ummah, is like one body. If one part of it is hurting, then the rest of it should be struck with fever and hurting. If we don't represent those ahadith in our actions, if we don't represent those behaviors, then we have not fulfilled the obligation that Rasulullah ﷺ and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has of the Muslim ummah. So please stand with us, stand with your brothers and sisters at CAIR Florida, become CAIR Florida advocates, tell your parents to help and support also. We're fundraising, of course, this Ramadan. So if your parents have not donated to CAIR Florida, or if you haven't donated to CAIR Florida, whatever little bit, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala multiplies it by thousands and thousands and thousands. Allah will multiply as He wishes. I'll also put our campaign. I'm going to put two. I'm going to put our general CAIR Florida campaign. I'm going to put my personal launch good, which is fundraising for Muslim inmates as well. You can fundraise and donate to whatever fund that you want. But with that, I will thank you all very much for your attendance and for your participation. And if you're interested in having another Kahoot like this from CAIR Florida, then leave us some feedback in the chat. I'll leave the box open for a little bit. Let us know what you're interested. Of course, we're a civil rights organization. That's why we gear toward this direction. But let us know if you'd like for us to do something like this again. And also, as mentioned in the chat box, be sure to follow CAIR Florida on social media at CAIR Florida, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I have no idea what YT is. Sorry, that's someone else can unmute and say that. YouTube. Yes, I know what YouTube is. Just haven't seen it that way. All right, guys. Jazakumullah khair. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. Congratulations to our winners. I'll leave the chat box open in case anyone wants to leave any feedback. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.